Hiya. Today I want to talk about something really important that I did over the summer. Something that really touched my heart, something that I thoroughly enjoyed, and something that I plan to do again this coming summer because that's how much I enjoyed it. If you haven't told, what am I talking about? Excuse me, it's really late and I'm slurring words. But if you haven't told by what I'm wearing, I'm going to be talking about good old Camp Rio. So, this past summer, I volunteered / worked at Camp Rio. And it's actually a really interesting story. So let me get into that real quick first. Last year, that was a big pause. Last year, I applied for Camp Rio because they had come to our cafeteria and they announced to all the students, hey, this is Camp Rio, this is us. If you want to help, if you want to volunteer over the summer, be sure to apply. We'll get back to you and tell you if you're in. And me being a person who loves nature, loves everything, I was like, yes, please. It was the whole package. And in IB's eyes, it was creativity. Out of focus. Okay. It was creativity. It was activity. And it was definitely service. This experience was so wonderful in the way that I contributed so much in so many different ways. I felt like I could actually make a change in somebody's life. That was wonderful. We'll get into that later though. So Camp Rio, I applied and I got in and I was super excited. I was like, yes, I have something to do this summer. I put this on my resume. It's gonna look real good, But initially, I had only applied to be a scout, which is the volunteer of Camp Rio. There's different degrees, or there's a classification system. So you have the campers, then you have the scouts who are the volunteers, and then after the scouts, you have the chiefs, which were people like me, but just they were getting paid because they had a few more responsibilities and technicalities to follow. Then above the chiefs, you had the guides, who were real adults, like people with actual degrees in different fields to help manage the camp. And then finally you had your administration, my camp director Nancy. Those were the people. So through all those people, camp functioned magnificently, and it was such a big heap of just teamwork. It was wonderful. So let me get into how, excuse me, how it actually was a part of C, A, and S of CAS. So starting off with C, creativity. Oh lordy lord. There were so many times, because it's a camp and you're working with children, you never know what's happening. It's so unpredictable, and you have to come up with solutions and different sorts of things to say that make sense to the kids, that maybe is an excuse for a kid, or that's just something smart, because kids are smart and you have to be able to work fast and quick on your feet with these kids, because if not, they'll get you and they will push you down. That sounds really extra, but kids are really smart and they have a different mindset, and you need to be able to adapt to that mindset, and create literally solutions that work with them. So that was something really interesting that I've never experienced, working with so many children. Like there were so many kids. At times I could be looking over like 20 kids, 30 kids. Sometimes I get a smaller group of like 10, but there was always a group of them. Um, so yeah, that was a creativity, like, but in the more literal sense, Camp Rio was filled with just creative things. I mean, at the camp, we literally had an art class that I actually helped run at one point, and we would always just promote creativity in the kids, telling them to like make art out of rocks or something like that. We even had this like rock painting station where they grab a rock and they'd paint it to however they want and make it creative and their own. So that's something like quite literally like creative. Moving on to activity. Activity, I feel like it's kind of obvious. At a camp, you canoe, and at a camp, oh, there's a fly or something. No, it's too far. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying. Okay, anyways. Activity. At a camp, you canoe, you kayak, you walk a lot. You run, you swim, you do so many different things with your body that I was not expecting. That really tires you out by the end of 8 hours every single day. So in walking alone, we would transition the kids to and from activities, and camp's no small place, and they have little legs and I have big legs, but I was still tired, so I could just imagine them, my campers. We would walk and we'd get so sweaty by the end of the day. We'd be drenched in sweat, and it was gross, but it was fun because you kind of earn that sweat. But anyways, we canoed and we kayaked. That was an activity that we had for the children. That was the fan favorite. Everybody loved getting in the kayak. Everybody loved canoeing, getting like splashing water at me, because I'd always let them splash water at me. Some people didn't like it, but I was like, it's fun, so get me wet, I don't care. So yeah, I'm typically an active person. I didn't really learn much. I that sounds really bad. Like, oh, like I already know everything about the outdoors. It's whatever. No, I just like, yeah, I knew everything that they were teaching there. If they taught me anything, it was little minor details like that just like really further improved and enhanced my knowledge on the general topics like fishing or archery, canoeing, kayaking, walking. I knew a fairly good amount about all those topics. Lastly, service. This is my favorite one to talk about because some people might not think about it. And I feel like this is why teachers get into their jobs that they do. It was really heart touching. Heart touching, is that the phrase? It really warmed the heart. Once I realized what I was doing at Camp Rio, the opportunity that I was given, the things I could potentially do for some of these kids. In their eyes, I was a role model. I was a bigger kid. I was someone that they respected, they listened to, and they looked to for advice, whether it was directly or indirectly. And that's something just in life that you can see. But at Camp Rio, it was so much more direct. These kids are here, and they're little sponges with their brains. They're literally absorbing everything around them, learning, and taking all of that they're absorbing and becoming them, through what they see. So me giving that opportunity every single day, Monday through Friday, for 8 hours was a huge responsibility on my part. Sorry, I shouldn't have drank a Coke right before this. Well, it's not a Coke, but it's like tonic water. Anyways, some kids got very personal with me, and they told me little issues that they had, from really insignificant ones to pretty big ones, and I won't disclose any of them to anybody, but it was something just to know that I could make a kid's day, and that I could impact what someone might want to do in the future. Some of the kids would come up to me and they'd be like, sir, you're so much fun. Oh my goodness, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And I was like, I haven't even grown up yet. It was so funny because that's what I think about saying, like, wow, like, I want to be like that guy when I grow up. And then there's these kids over here telling me, like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And that was crazy. That was an experience. But I really did give back to the community. I tried to leave positive energy within every single one of the kids, despite what's going on with them, their personal life, what might be happening with other kids. I always promoted positivity. I tried to tell them, despite everything, you stay happy, and that'll make people want to be happy around you. And that was the message that I promoted, the message that I wanted all the kids to get. And I'd say it fairly worked, and I'm proud of the kids that I reached out to and the kids that I've sort of maybe possibly changed their lives. It's funny because I go out to Walmart or anywhere and I see them. I literally see like my kids, and I'll be like, hi, and they get so excited to see me. There's a couple of them that are like super embarrassed, but for the most part, most of them are really excited to see me. And then at IDEA too, I attend IDEA Frontier, and I didn't realize it, but there are so many kids that go to Camp RIO that are from IDEA Frontier, and like they see me and they're just like, oh, look at him, he's a senior, like I can do that, I'm gonna be a senior. And it's so cool. I really loved everything about Camp RIO. This was a shirt that we got, Camp RIO under construction, just because the camp was under construction. We also gave out little pins as rewards for some of the activities. Here's one, I Heart Camp. Here's another, time for some more fun. But yeah, this is a really long video, going on 13 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed. This was something very important to me, something super impactful and a real eye-opener. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it, and like I said at the beginning, I can't wait to do it again this summer, and maybe get paid doing it. Like, cause I didn't start. I wasn't getting paid at the beginning, yeah, but I did end up getting paid. But that's a different story. That doesn't really matter. All right, peace out,